Welcome to Permission to Thrive. I'm your host, Suzi Lula. As a spiritual therapist for over 20 years, I have the honor and privilege of ushering women and mothers just like you on a journey from simply surviving to powerfully thriving. I also have the honor of raising our son, Will, who is now a young adult, with my longtime partner, Jamie, so I'm right there on the journey with you. Consider this your personal sanctuary, your space to meet your heart, embrace your messy, and come home to your most authentic, extraordinary self. My hope is that you leave resourced and inspired because you are here to shine. Welcome to Permission to Thrive.
Amazing. Welcome, Agape, my soul family. As Reverend Coco said, I am Reverend Suzi Lula. For any of you who are just getting to know me and meet me, I'm so grateful and honored to be here with you today as we activate the light that is within us so that we shine that light everywhere that we go. Yes? Yes. You think you're here for that, and you are. And we're here to continue the celebration of our beloved Reverend Dr. Michael Bernard Beckwith's birthday. Who was here last week for the actual birthday celebration? Yeah, you were here? Live stream. Many people flew in to be here in person with him. We got to meet so many of you in person for the first time. Okay, I know that everybody probably had a favorite part of the service. Every part was just packed. My favorite part? 100 push-ups in the service and 90 push-ups in the next service. Hello? And then he gave this powerhouse message around moving into the all things possible consciousness, the already done consciousness. And that is what we are going to be working with today, the already done consciousness. Today, we are going to call forward and step into our future self, the 2.0, the 4.0 version of ourselves, the highest version of ourselves. We're going to stand in that today. So I'm thinking, since he did 100 push-ups last week, if I'm calling in the future version of myself, and if everything is already encoded within us, then in potential, encoded within me are those 100 push-ups. So if you want to join me, just envision and pull in and embody your future self that is right here doing 100 push-ups, maybe even this afternoon. Yeah? Just as an aside, last year he did a headstand, and there's no way I was able to do a headstand last year, but I took it as a challenge, and I called that future self forward, and I will not show you today, but I could do a headstand. So this future version of ourselves, it is available to us right now. That's what I want you to catch, that within you right now, there is a future self. There is a 2.0 version of yourself. There is a highest version of yourself. There is a transcendent version of yourself. It's the version of yourself that is living in this world, and yet it transcends. It's so much greater and larger. It's limitless. It's boundless. There's no ceilings. There's no borders. There's no boundaries. And it's available to us right now. We don't even need to wait until tomorrow. So you want to go on that journey right now? Let's go. So earlier this year, I had a spiritual experience, a mystical experience, I'll call it a quantum experience, of being in many places and dimensions of consciousness at one time in one moment. It didn't look like it was so shiny and sparkly at the beginning. It started first Friday in January, went into my office, sat on my desk, in my chair on my desk, and lo and behold, found out that I had been the victim of cyber fraud. So I teach online classes, as Reverend Coco said, and I have an online platform that houses all my courses. And I was in the middle of getting ready to certify coaches in this field of spiritual psychology that I do, and so people were enrolling. And I was expecting to see that those funds come into my account, but unbeknownst to me, someone had hacked into the back end of my platform and diverted said funds from my account to their account, to the tune of about $200,000. So I'm sitting there, I'm feeling into my nervous system at the time. Now, what you have to know about that moment was that there was a moment that preceded that moment. It was a few years ago. Do you all remember at the very beginning of COVID, when we didn't know very much about COVID at all? All we were being told at the time was just lock down, stay in your house, don't get near other people. And at that time, there was a lot of fear, there was a lot of uncertainty going around. The whole world just shut down. Now, what do we know in consciousness? We know in consciousness that wherever we might be susceptible in consciousness, we may get hooked. And so during that time of fear and uncertainty, there was also a fear going around that the stock market might crash because the whole world kind of shut down. And I was susceptible, and I got caught in that fear. I called my financial planner. True story, it was probably one of the most vulnerable moments in my entire life. I called my financial planner. Jamie's with me, my husband, kind of crying. And I'm sharing with him that I'm in fear because I come from a lineage of generations that are self-made individuals, really excellent, good stewards of our money. And yet and still, my great-grandparents went through the Depression, and so there's talk and energy around not wanting to lose the finance that we're such good stewards of. And so in that moment, I was really caught that if the stock market crashed, I was going to lose that which we had been good stewards of. And I say that I was crying, but if you want me to really let you in on the real deal, I was like a little puddle of tears on my bathroom floor in the fetal position, crying to my financial planner. He probably did not expect that day. And at the time, I thought I was in the middle, clearly, of a financial crisis. As I'm on the floor in that puddle, I recognized I'm not having a financial crisis. I'm having an identity crisis. I'm having a crisis of identity. Because did you hear how I described myself? I said, I come from a lineage of, and then I described to you where I came from. But if you just want to untangle your divine identity for a moment, and you tweak one word, I recognized in that moment, I did not come from this lineage. I came through that lineage. Do you hear what the distinction is and how radical and dramatically it can change your life? So I didn't come from that family. I came through that family. If any of you, many of you parents, if you've heard the Khalil Gibran poem on children, he says, our children are not our children. They come to us, they come through us, but they are not of us. So I want you right now to be thinking of yourself. You are the child of parents, and I want you to say to yourself, my parents are not my parents. I came through them, but I am not of them. I have my own soul. I am accountable to my own soul, my own sovereign being. So I'm going to say it, then you say it after me. My parents are not my parents. My parents are not my parents. I came through them. I came through them, but I am not of them. But I am not of them. This opens a portal for you to begin to say, well, if I am not of this generational educational system or lack thereof, cultural, family, or lack thereof. If I am not the product of that, who am I? What am I? It opens you up to a portal where you will begin to recognize that you are infinite. You are an infinite being. You are living in this world, but you are not bound by this world. And so I recognized I was having a crisis of identity. You know, there's 2 times in life when most of us are very, very clear that we are so much more than the physical body. That is when you look at a child, a newborn. And when you look at a newborn, most likely you have the experience of awe and wonder and mystery, that certainly that newborn is so much more than the physical body that is there. There's light emanating from this soul. You recognize this is a soul that is here in front of me, but it's beyond. And another time that we tend to recognize that, if you've ever had the privilege of being with someone as they're making their transition. And I was privileged to get to be with my mom the last couple of weeks of her life on her bed. And when you are in the presence of someone who is making their transition and moving from this realm to another realm, more often than not, you have this experience that this individual is so much more than who they are in the physical. When you have this, you recognize, what about the space in the middle? I believe that is why we call it a midlife crisis. Because on the sides, we recognize we're a soul, and we're here to be that soul and emanate from our soul self. And in the middle, we have this midlife crisis where we are operating from such a reductive space, such a reductive identification of ourselves. So when I'm lying on the floor, I was having all of these epiphanies and awarenesses that I'm not having a financial crisis. I'm in the middle of an identity crisis. And we all know that in the Chinese language, the symbol for crisis is opportunity. So in that moment, I begin to ask myself, what is my opportunity right now? So I want you, as I'm speaking, to just listen and feel into your own life. Maybe there is an issue that you are moving through, or an issue that's moving through your own life with a loved one, a relative, maybe your own health, your own finance. Whatever it is, I want you to begin to ask yourself, what decision am I being asked to make here right now? How am I having a misinterpretation of my identity? How am I identifying myself as something so much smaller, so reductive, so constricted to who I truly am? I began to ask myself this question, and in that very moment, I made a decision. I vowed, I committed, I dedicated. I said to myself, never again was I going to identify myself in that reductive, constricted, small, misbelieving way that I was having about myself. And in that moment, I had an epiphany, a portal opened up to me, because I put myself into an alignment of the past, the present, the future, and it opened up, just like for an artist. When an artist, a sculptor, sees a block of marble, they're not looking at the block of marble. They're open into a portal that they already see the sculpture that they're sculpting. Or a musician, you may look on a sheet of paper and see many notes on a sheet of paper, but the musician is hearing the music. Do you see what I'm saying? So it moved me into a different space in consciousness. So I want you to begin to understand that when you make a decision, so you're listening right now, what decision am I being asked to make? How am I to show up in my life differently from this moment forward, before I even step up out of the seat in which I am sitting right now? And when you begin to start making that decision, what you're becoming aware of is that encoded within you right now, before you even stand up, is everything that you need to bring in that future self into your life right now. How do we know this? Because you need only look again at a child. Think of a 6-month-old child that is crawling. You don't give any conscious thought to that 6-month-old that is crawling, but within you, you have an understanding that that 6-month-old has everything it needs already encoded within it to walk, to run one day. You see that, right? So we are encoded to evolve. Say that after me. I am encoded to evolve. I am encoded to evolve. You don't need motivation from the outside in. Within you, just like that child is going to go from crawling to walking, walking to running, running to riding a bike. It's encoded. We want to grow. We want to evolve. There is a place within you right now that wants to grow, that wants to evolve. It's encoded within you. This is why Jesus the Christ, Yeshua ben Joseph, could say, and you've all probably heard this saying, have the faith of a mustard seed, right? So we know this. He said, have the faith of this little, small, tiny mustard seed. And if you've ever seen a mustard tree, within that little seed is a huge, massive, giant tree. So you have to understand that Yeshua ben Joseph, he was not looking at the seed and seeing only a seed. He was looking at a seed, but having the conscious quantum awareness that within that seed is a massive, huge, giant tree. That is the already done consciousness. He's not living in the consciousness of seeing a seed. Do you understand? He's living in the consciousness of seeing the already done, the infinite potential, the infinite possibilities. That is where he lived. Now, does anybody know what he said after that sentence? Have the faith of a mustard seed. This delights me. Okay, so he says, have the faith of a mustard seed. Move yourself into a quantum field. And then he says, have the faith of a mustard seed. Ask the mountain to move. Ask a mountain to move from here to there. And he says, and it will move. If you have the faith of a mustard seed and you reside in the quantum field of the already done, it's already done, you will be living in the field that sees the mountain moving from here to there. And he says, and it will move. Do you know what he said after that? Anybody know? I know, Reverend Joanne, you got to know. He said, and then nothing will be impossible in your life. Yeah? That's why he's Yeshua ben Joseph. Nothing will be impossible in your life. Say that after me. Nothing is impossible in my life. Nothing is impossible in my life. So right where you are, whatever issue you're moving through, whatever issue is moving through you, whatever identity crisis that you are moving into the opportunity thereof, you are saying, imagine your life right now. Nothing is impossible to you. You just need to learn to see the seed as the tree, be in the already done consciousness, yes? That is why he was also able to say to the lame man, pick up thy bed and walk. Because his eyes weren't looking at a lame man. His eyes weren't looking at the stock market potentially crashing where I was looking. He's looking at a man who lives in quantum potential reality, all things possible, already done possible. He already saw the man walking. So what did the man do? Took up his bed and walked. This is possible for each one of you, and it is essential for all of us to say yes to. So you with me so far? Okay, so you're asking yourself, what is your decision to be made? How are you to be moved in the already done consciousness? When you are living in the already done consciousness, how do you show up differently? How do you feel differently? So there I am. I'm on the floor. I'm a puddle. I'm realizing I got a decision to make. I vow I am never seeing myself in a reductive way ever again. And in that moment, I had an experience where I can't deny I was a puddle on the floor. I could see myself, and I was hovering above myself. And the me, the future me, the 2.0 version of me, the eternal quantum version of me, she was smiling. She was not tethered to anything about a stock market, anything about finance. She was free. She's liberated, unencumbered, no encumbering. She was free because she wasn't tethered to the same thing, because she was not identifying herself in the way that I was identifying myself. So a shift in your identity opens yourself up to a quantum field. And I felt myself first hovering above myself, and then I realized, oh, that is my truthful identity. I met my truthful identity that day on the bathroom floor in front of my financial planner. Who knew that's how it would look? But there I am. I'm at one. I'm aligned. I'm embodying this version. And this version, your 2.0 version, your future version, your quantum version, it's so light. It's so full of light. You know, the Kabbalah says that we are each a spark of light. We're each a spark of the divine light. And what we're here to do is to create our vessel, our instrument, so that we are such a pristine instrument that we can be the holder of that light that is seeking to push through us and activate through us. And that's what I wanted more than anything else. And so when you see that next version of yourself, it's such filaments of light. It's such a light vibration and frequency. Did any of you guys take Reverend Julia's frequency factor class? That it's a frequency. And so it pulls you up, it lifts you up from the density of the frequency of your misidentification. So, cut to January, I'm realizing someone hacked my platform, and this money is getting diverted to someone else's platform, bank account. And so the physical world is giving me feedback. Oh, you're not going to make so much money this year. Oh, no, you're getting ready to teach a class basically for free. So much physical data coming back to me. But you have to hear, I don't live at that address in consciousness anymore. It's not where I live anymore, you see? It's not where I live anymore. It's not where you are to live anymore. And because I moved in consciousness, same house, different consciousness, because I moved in consciousness, I was untouchable. I was feeling into my nervous system going, wait, I'm supposed to be really upset right now. I'm supposed to be grasping right now. This is not good. I felt none of that. I absolutely am untouched. And because I live in that future version, I'm standing in that version of myself, and I'm untouched, I can tell you that right now, I'm getting ready to teach a course on business and assisting coaches to create thriving practices. And in October, I'm getting ready to do my first ever in-person retreat in Los Angeles, and none of that was planned. In January, none of that was meant to happen. It all happens because we enter a quantum field. And so you're to enter your own individualized quantum field today that is calling you. So you just begin to feel into, I am standing in my future self now. I'm going to say it one more time and then repeat it after me. I am standing in my future self now. I am standing in my future self now. I am embodying the next version of me now. I am embodying the next version of me now. I live in the all things possible consciousness. I live in the all things possible consciousness. I live in the already done consciousness. I live in the already done consciousness. Okay, we got one more thing to do, because when we receive something for ourselves, it's not enough to just receive it for ourselves. We want to pay it forward. Because when we pay something forward, we become part of a larger circulation, a collective circulation. So I want us to do a collective activation right now. And just as you are seeing for your own self this embodied future next version of yourself, and you're embodying her, him, they right now, you're just embodying right now, I want you to begin to recognize that we are a global family. And so we have a collective future self. And begin to see the collective future self that we reside in right now. We still think on this planet that bombing another country is supposedly going to bring us peace. But in the quantum field, we see peace only peace. So you are saying in yourself, you are embodying in yourself the next version of our global family, I see peace only, only peace. I see peace only, only peace. See that for the globe right now. I see a world where every child is cherished. Perhaps you want to see that with me. I see a world where each individual is respected. I see a world where every soul is sovereign. Every soul is seen. Maybe say that after me. I see a world where every soul is seen. I see a world where every soul is seen. Do you see a world where every soul gets to shine? I see a world where every soul gets to shine because I stand in my future self now. Peace and love, Agape. Now, as we do, we move into a moment of prayer, and what we know about prayer is that prayer is the already done consciousness. So as we lend our hearts and our prayers to these individuals that we hold so sacredly in our hearts, we are beginning first and foremost, you might gently close your eyes, just become aware of your breath. I am so grateful for the already done consciousness. I am so grateful for these teachings. I am so grateful for the infinite possibilities, the all things possible consciousness. How grateful I am to be part of a spiritual community where these teachings are thriving, flourishing, blossoming, and blooming. So many profound teachings activated within us right now. I am so deeply grateful. How grateful I am to get to be part of a community with a master teacher, Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith, whose consistent yes over and over and yet over again, his own consciousness living in that quantum field of wisdom, of inspiration, creativity. I know that where he lives, we are all invited to meet him and live in this space. How grateful I am to know that there is one power, one presence. It is pure, it is pristine, it is light. It is light. It is everywhere. It is goodness, it is love, it is unconditional love. It is a love that resides beyond our human comprehension. It is unconditional, beyond condition. Oh my gosh, this loving presence is right here. It is surrounding you, whether you were here live, whether you're on the live stream, right where you are. You are being surrounded. You are being held. You are being embraced in this divine love. It's got you. You're held. Feel yourself being held. You are held. You are supported. You are lifted up. You are uplifted. You are light. Oh, my soul sings out to you, oh God. My soul sings out to you, oh God. May each one of you in this very moment know how very cherished you are. May you know in this moment how precious your life is. May you have a reckoning in this moment to never identify yourself as anything smaller than you are. To realign, to re-identify yourself. There is an inner alignment happening right now. There is an activation happening right now within your being on the physical level, the mental, the emotional, the spiritual level of consciousness, the auric level of consciousness. You are in a vibrational alignment. You are activated from the inside out into the energy and the quantum field of pure, perfect, radiant, vital, dynamic health. Perfect health is yours now. Abundance, prosperity, the givingness of the Spirit is yours now. And I know that if you are here and part of this Agape community, you are such a generous being. Our community is so generous, so giving, so loving. You are part of a divine, loving circulation right now. And so I hold each one of you in prayer, knowing that you are being activated from the inside out, as is our beloved Reverend Michael, as we continue to celebrate his birthday, his continued yes.
Thank you so much for listening. If there was something in this conversation that spoke to you, we'd so appreciate it if you would take the time to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and share this episode with women and mothers you know, because you are here to thrive. See you next time.